It's a continuation of Harden and Tessa's love stories.
Please don't push me away.
I love you.
The main story of the fourth film is kind of a familial secrets story that unfolds.
And a drink? Tess, you're not the one who just found out his entire life was a lie, so either have a drink with me or go.
Harden's found out that his dad's not his biological dad, and he's struggling with processing that and you know, feeling betrayed.
And the psychological consequences that has on him and on his relationship with Tessa.
Things have just escalated beyond crazy.
This is bullshit, Harden. This isn't us.
Us? What? Us, Tess? There is no us. You don't belong here. You shouldn't be here. You don't fit in here. So just go.
This is a continuation of the journey of Harden and Tessa, who are pretty undoubtedly soulmates, but as we know in life, it's quite difficult to make things work, even if they are meant to be.
Why is the After series so successful?
I think it's largely driven by young kids, young girls finding their way. They're working their way through love in their life.
It makes sense why it's connected as a movie and as the books, you know, as such a global phenomenon.
It kind of speaks to experiences that everyone can relate to. It speaks to love, it speaks to insecurity, it speaks to discovering yourself.
Everybody loves love, and I think everyone can relate to toxic love.
I actually was in a relationship when I was younger that reminds me a little bit of Tessa and Harden's relationship, and I don't think I'm the only person who's experienced that before.
It's a sort of fantasy idea of what life can be, but it's not without its difficulties.
Romance isn't necessarily always beautiful, and that's what the books are. And I think that's what people love so much about the books.
It's a relationship story. And who doesn't love a relationship story?
I don't know if I've ever been a part of something that was quite as popular as this series, and it's really cool.
When I read a story, I really put myself into the character, which is why I love telling stories about young women, especially in tumultuous relationships. So I think that really helps. It's not just like, oh, this is what's on the page, let's you know, put it onto the screen. It's like, oh, I feel for this. And even when I'm like watching the monitor, I'm there like, oh my God, I want Tessa and Harden to be together, or whoever it is. I do this on every movie, but you know, that's when you know, like, oh, this is great, and you feel, and I think that that's really important to these particular movies, because that's what you do when you read the books. You read yourself into Tessa. You put yourself in that relationship, or Harden, if you're, you know, whoever you are, you read yourself into. But I direct through that too.
Stop, 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 stop.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Tessa, at the beginning of the first movie, is a girl. Throughout the course of these movies and through this relationship, she just changes into not a completely different person, but she goes from being a young girl with a certain career in mind to an adult at the end of the fourth movie. Well, that was something that was really nice about this, getting the opportunity to play over the course of 2 years and over 4 films, one girl just at very different points of her life.
Thank you. Take care.
A huge thank you to fans who allowed this to all be possible, and again have like changed my life. I will be forever grateful for that. And then Joe, massively. It's been a real pleasure to work across someone so talented and kind and funny and amazing, and it's such an honor to have been able to tell this story across 4 movies, let alone, you know, not 1 or 2, but 4 whole movies, and I can't wait for the fans to see it. It's for them. They allowed us to do this, so what we ultimately all we care about is whether they like it or not. And I really think they will. I hope they will.
That is the kind of story After is.
After?
It's my journey after I met you.
Wie lange schreibst du schon über uns?
Er hatte nur für sich selbst gelebt. Doch das änderte sich jetzt.
Ich liebe dich. Geh nicht. Hardin hat so viele Dämonen.
Ich war jung, verliebt und ich hatte Angst.
Er hat versucht, sich für mich zu bessern.
Ich ziehe dich immer wieder in meinen Scheiß rein, Tessa. Das ist nicht fair.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich ihn retten kann, ohne dass ich mich selbst dabei verliere. Wir brauchen Abstand.
Du kannst aber nicht vor dir selbst fliehen, indem du von einem Ort zum anderen ziehst. Es gibt einen Beta-Krieg um mein Buch.
Ich will nicht, dass fremde Leute über mein Leben lesen.
Es ist unser Leben. Wozu sollen wir das alles durchgemacht haben, wenn wir das nicht in etwas wandeln können, das anderen Menschen hilft? Das ist eine Geschichte über Vergebung und grenzenlose Liebe. Das ist die Geschichte, die in After erzählt wird.
After?
Mein Weg, nachdem ich dich traf.
Dafür kommst du ins Gefängnis, ist dir das
Deshalb
klar?
solltest du verschwinden! Du warst nicht da, als sie dich brauchte, jetzt machst du es nur schlimmer! Theresa, ich brauche sehr viel Selbstkontrolle, um dir widerstehen zu können.
Du hast ja keine Ahnung.